Well, we're so excited to have you all here to celebrate this awesome day. This will be our Scarlet Class graduation. And we have 12 teams that are graduating today, and this incredibly full room is truly a testament to the community that it takes to place each and every one of those teams. So whether you've joined us in this room here or you're watching online, we just can't thank you enough for being here and how special it is to be able to recognize these teams. My name is Jennifer Lutz, and I am the Executive Director here at Paws for Ability. It's been my privilege to be part of the organization since close to the very beginning, when we were just placing a handful of service dogs. And to date, we've placed over 2,000 service dog teams, which really, when you think of that and think of how many lives have changed, how many children or veterans may not actually have been here except because they've had a service dog. So service dogs are not only life-changing, they're often life-saving to the partners that receive them. It is a journey to get to this point for our families as well as the service dogs. So with the service dogs at Paws, we breed, raise, and train each one of these dogs to be ready for their partner. It starts even before the dogs are born with our breeding program. We have wonderful mom dogs and dad dogs who have gone through a lot of testing, orthopedic, ophthalmology, cardiology, genetic testing, so many different steps to make sure that each puppy that's produced has the best chance possible to be able to be a healthy and behaviorally trained service dog. So these service dogs really impact individuals' lives, creating a life-changing moment, as living with a disability can often be hard and isolating. And so a service dog coming in at this critical point can really change the trajectory of an individual's life. Our mission is enriching the lives of people with disabilities by placing life-changing service dogs, and we've had so many people be part of that mission. So I want to share a little bit more about the stakeholders, the people behind the mission. It's a massive community that works behind the scenes to make days like today possible. Most people are surprised to learn that we have over 2,000 dedicated volunteers who put in a lot of sacrifice and hard work into raising our dogs. Our volunteers strengthen our mission in many ways, such as providing wonderful homes for our breeder dogs, helping our dogs while at our facility, and fostering over 300 dogs at any given time to provide foundational training and socialization experiences critical to becoming a life-changing service dog. Paws also employs over 60 staff members who work every day of the year, yes, and holidays, and yes, overnight, to care for and train each of our dogs. Our staff ensures that our dogs meet the highest standards of health and care, and that our 2,000 volunteers and families have the support that they need, and that each service dog is trained to provide their life-changing task for their partner. And finally, I want to recognize our generous donors. Each highly trained service dog represents an investment of around $40,000, a cost that reflects the extensive training and care these incredible dogs receive. Each family is here today thanks to the support from their own communities and also from generous donors who support Paws in order to reduce the amount that families are asked to raise. So if you are here today and you're part of our Paws community as a volunteer, staff, or donor, would you please stand if you're able so we can recognize and thank you. Thank you all. We truly would not be able to be here without you, and you guys are really the reason, the heartbeat behind Paws. I also want to recognize the Patterson family. Eric and Angela sponsored the Scarlet Class in memory of their daughter, Erica. You can see her picture on the front of the program here. Her family shares that Erica loved her dogs as everyone here today does. She would be so happy to know that she is part of this great organization which provides such a wonderful service for so many people. Erica lived by this quote, as it was her favorite. No matter what happens in life, be good to people. Being good to people is a wonderful legacy to leave behind. Their sponsorship supports each one of these families graduating here today. Will you join me in thanking our class sponsor? If you have any questions about donating, volunteering, or sponsoring, and whether you're here today or watching online, we'd love to invite you to be part of our mission. Check out our website with next steps or give us a call, and we'd have more information on the back of your programs. And also, we have a tour immediately after graduation, so if you want to learn more, you have any questions, I'll be leading that tour, and I'd be delighted to answer those questions. So now I'd like to introduce our class lead, Emily, who's going to introduce our families.
Welcome everyone to the Scarlet Class graduation. We are so happy you've joined us to celebrate these families and their hard work to receive and train with their new service dogs. My name is Emily and I am a senior trainer at Paws for Ability. I have had the honor of being the class lead for the last 10 days. This class consists of 12 amazing families. They have been working hard to learn and utilize the life-changing skills their service dogs provide, like tethering, mobility assistance, medical alert, and behavior disruption. These families traveled from all over the country and right here within Ohio to get to Paws for Ability. I've truly loved working with every one of you and getting to know you. You have all been so wonderful and so kind, and I have loved watching your confidence in handling your dogs grow throughout class. I'm excited to continue talking with you all and hearing all of the things these teams continue to accomplish and your funny stories. One of my favorite things about class is watching not only the bonds grow between dog and partner, but also between all the families. Your support for each other and shared stories have made this class magical and life-changing. For these Paws families, their service dog signifies a new, brighter future for their partner and their whole family. And I am so excited to introduce these families to you so we can hear more about their journeys. Coming up first to share their experience with us is the brand new service dog team of Nathan and Crypto.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jules Johnson. This is my husband, Josh Johnson, and my son, Nathan, and Crypto, the super dog. Seriously, he's going to be in a theater near you this June, the Superman movie. In the opening scene, he saves Superman. Crypto does. So we are from Fort Wayne, Indiana, a couple hours away. And I heard about Paws from my lovely friend Elena in the back there. Her daughter Maribel needed a service dog a few years ago and needed the dog to be trained to smell for seizures. And fortunately, but unfortunately, her daughter wasn't having seizures during the daytime, but my son was having several every day. And so she contacted me to do the submitting of seizure shirts for Nathan. And while I was doing that, I was like, I need to get a service dog for my son too. So then we embarked upon our process of raising the funds and leading to this day. So class has been really intense this past 10 days. We've learned a ton. But we also have had some really amazing moments of getting to see Crypto alert us for a seizure. And that's amazing because that's going to give us a lot more peace of mind and less adrenaline all the time that my husband and I have just having to catch him. He is not wheelchair bound. He will run around this room like crazy normally. And so just to have that peace of mind to not always be on edge. Crypto would be in a sound sleep and just all of a sudden perk up and run up to Nathan and start sniffing him and licking his fingers. And he had a seizure 45 minutes later. So that to me, and I think we're going to work to fine tune that skill of Crypto's. There's so many people to thank. Thank Emily for all of your amazing training this week. It's been amazing. I'm so grateful for Erica and all the work that you put in. I don't see her. Where are you, Erica? Thank you so much for helping Crypto get to the point where he needed to be. And Jill, You have my heart. Thank you so much for being his foster mama. And I know it's hard for you to say goodbye, but we are so lucky and blessed to have Crypto, and I appreciate all that you put into our new boy. Also, thanks to Fresh Pet for all the donated high-value treats, because those really were his favorite for, like, when he would do a seizure alert and I'd give him, oh my gosh, he was so excited. So thank you for those donations too. And just thank you to the rest of class too. I think it was an amazing experience, and I just appreciate everything and every one of you. Thank you.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Tom and Koa.
All right. Yeah, my name's Tom. I'm a U.S. military veteran. And this is Koa. I promised I wasn't going to get emotional. It's okay. Yeah, I'm born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I currently live in Centerville, Ohio. I left Chicago for the military. Like I said, I did 25 years. And just imagine playing semi-pro football for 25 years. And that's pretty much what it does to your body. So after some back fusions and some new titanium hips, and so I set off all the alarms at the airport. So it'll be interesting flying with him, I think. It'll take us a long time to process through. But, you know, he's trained to help me with just mobility tasks, things that I can't do. And, yeah, it's been a great experience. He's been awesome. But yeah, I'd just like to thank Paws, Emily, Erica, his advanced trainer, all the veteran donors, Wounded Warrior Foundation that made this kind of possible for me. So thank you.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Charlotte and Hazel.
Hi there. My name is Erin White. This is my son Bowen, and this is Charlotte, and this is her new service dog. Her name is Hazel, formerly known as Reza here at Four Paws. We are from Cincinnati, so just down the road, and in this area, Four Paws has, in Southwest Ohio, there's a very strong Four Paws presence, which we're very, very lucky. So I've known about Four Paws for a long time. There are Four Paws dogs in Charlotte's school, in her classroom, and my parents even have one of the flunkies. So we're very, very lucky. Class was great. We have learned that Hazel is the, I don't know if it's official or unofficial queen of Four Paws, but everyone seems to know her, and she's just seems to be a fan favorite here at the organization. And we're just so grateful for her and everyone that has helped with her. As far as goals and what she will help Charlotte with and our family with, Charlotte has epilepsy, and Bowen, yeah. Charlotte has epilepsy and autism, both of which bring behavioral challenges and anxiety. While surgery did, with medicine and surgery, her seizures are under control right now, fingers crossed. But like I said, behaviors and anxiety have definitely come with both conditions. So Hazel's going to help disrupt behavior. She is going to bring comfort when Charlotte feels anxious, and act as a social bridge in settings where Charlotte might feel that anxiety. And sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes she might clam up, but she seems to she wants to go play outside. She doesn't seem anxious right now. Maybe that's you. Maybe you did that. So thank you to our family and our friends and teachers. Yeah, our friends, and everyone who has helped make this happen. Thank you to Paws, and special thanks to Emily, who's been a great lead this week. The Mark family, who has helped raise Hazel, Kaylin, and her trainer, and Bethany, her trainer, who has raised her since she was very, very little. Thank you all for helping to raise this special girl for our special girl.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Teddy and Culture.
Hello, everybody. We're the Millers. I'm not good with off-the-cuff remarks, so I am going to read you a write-up I made it was actually for my sorority alumni group, because they raised a lot of money for Teddy's service dog. So, first of all, thank you to everybody in this room. I never imagined that my kiddo would be the subject of so many people's prayers and donations and good thoughts, and it's just overwhelming. Specifically, Molly, who trained him. I don't even know where she is right now. Liliana, Kara, Andrea, and the whole Burks family. Alice, Sarah, and then, of course, Emily for training us on how to handle the dog. So, without further ado, here we go. Teddy was born in December of 2013 in the usual way and was an adorable baby. His development was slower than other children's, but was obviously lagging behind once he entered preschool and we saw his classmates. But he stayed on all those milestone charts until he turned about 3 years old. It was that time that we sought a referral to speech therapy, because not only did he not speak, but he had lost words that he originally had. He also changed preschools at that time, and so we would be asked a couple more times to make preschool arrangements for him after that. So at his third preschool, Montessori, his teacher and administrators noticed that his behavior seemed to stem from overstimulation to sensory stimuli. They helped us contact a local place that does evaluations to schedule a full psychological evaluation for our little teddy bear. Test after test showed that Teddy had cognitive impairment, significant motor delays, and lots of therapy appointments upcoming. He left Montessori and entered a therapeutic preschool when he was 4, and he thrived for the first time ever, and he even had friends. He was still delayed and challenged by most things that preschoolers do naturally, but he was happy, and he was working hard, and things were looking promising. On the evening of July 8th, 2019, we heard a strange cry from the bedrooms upstairs. You know your children's cries. You know their happy squeals, their cries of frustration versus their cries of anger or pain. This was unlike any we had ever heard uttered by any of our children, and we have 5. So to this day, I still believe that it was Teddy's guardian angel alerting us to what was going on upstairs. So Dave, my husband, went to investigate and called me down to bring the puke bucket and some cleaning supplies to Teddy's room. He got Teddy stripped and in the bathtub, and I took over. He was awake, but unresponsive to all the commands and unable to hold his head up. I quickly bathed him and made a FaceTime call to my dad, who was a local physician, because I just needed outside confirmation that something just was off. He told us that Teddy was unresponsive and that we should go immediately to the ER, but just out of caution. So we did. On that call to my dad, Teddy's arm started moving back and forth, kind of looked like it was waving. He then began a silent heaving vomit, which lasted way too long. And of course, I began to panic because he wasn't breathing. Dave made it to the ER, local children's ER where we're from, and carried him inside. Teddy had turned from blue to gray by that point because he had lost consciousness and compromised his airway. An off-duty officer took one look and ran Teddy straight back to trauma response. Another wave of seizures began, halting intubation until his convulsions ceased. Dave had me on speakerphone talking to the nurse while all of this was happening in the background. I still can't talk about it without choking up a little and thanking God for the quick response of that officer. Once Teddy was intubated and stable, they moved him up to ICU. Our priest came and anointed him around midnight, maybe 1 a.m., and Teddy had an EEG immediately after. Within 30 minutes of that EEG, Teddy had a string of seizures that lasted a whopping 45 minutes. I watched helplessly as respiratory therapy fought to keep his airway open. He was intubated, yes, but he kept crushing the tube closed with his teeth and bending his neck in a way that just cut off his oxygen. I watched the nurse check his eyes, decide which limb began twitching first, and decide how to classify and time each event that seemed to be one gigantic, brain-distressing thunderstorm. He was extubated the next day and weaned off medication that they used to stop the seizures. He was unable to walk or talk or use the restroom, and he kept vomiting. After 3 days of this, we asked to be transferred to Vanderbilt to see a neurologist. And so I did a little Googling in that time because this was all new to me. And I learned that he had been in status epilepticus, for which the prognosis was very grim. 30% of patients experiencing a status epilepticus event will die within 30 days of that event. So you can understand my reluctance to just go home and not be seen by a neurologist. He stayed there at Vanderbilt for 3 days. By the end of that stint, he was walking, talking, eating, and pretty much normal, but his cognitive functioning was very far from baseline. But we had a seizure action plan to follow. We had follow-up appointments with the neurologists. We had meds, and we felt good. So he started kindergarten on time in August and was seizure-free until September 2020. That event followed the exact same trajectory as the previous event, but this time we were prepared and on top of it before the seizures took complete control of his brain. The paramedics arrived within 6 minutes of our 911 call, and he was transported to our local hospital for observation in case of a repeat of the 2019 seizures. His neurologist ordered a genetics panel for severe epilepsy, and it came back with KCNB1 encephalopathy. This diagnosis was amazing for us because it gave us answers. It gave us the reason for his seizures. I tell you what, the unknown whys behind the seizures were the scariest part of him having epilepsy. When are they going to happen? Why are they happening? What are his triggers? And KCNB1 kind of got us off that hamster wheel of wondering why and being neurotypical parents forcing our child to do things that he was never meant to do anyway. Teddy was special and unique, and his diagnosis spelled that out for us in black and white. It was also scary because there are fewer than 200 cases of KCNB1 worldwide, and it's incredibly understudied. No two genetic mutations are even the same or have similar, or even similar for that matter. A kid with the exact same variant as my kiddo could have completely different clinical presentation. So after the September seizure, I discovered a special mat that goes under the mattress and sounds an alarm when it detects sustained repetitive movement, a seizure. It gave us tremendous peace of mind. Teddy's seizures had both happened at nighttime in his bed, and he was at high risk for SUDEP, which is sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. It was during this time I began searching for seizure alert dogs and stumbled upon Paws for Ability. Paws is one of the very few but so necessary organizations that will allow a kid to have a service dog. Most other service dog organizations will not give kids service dogs. And back then, when in 2021, when we were applying, the dogs were just starting to trial out the scent training. And it was like, oh, this could be cool for our kid because it would alert us before his seizures ever happen. We could have his meds ready. We could have the phone ready and be prepared. But the process was very long. And we started 4 years ago. And after we fundraised and got here, we found out about Mr. Culture, our beautiful seizure alert dog. Yeah. So Teddy has remained seizure-free since 2020, which is great. He's 11 years old and he's still on seizure meds because if there's one thing we know about KCNB1, it's not if he has more seizures, it's when. So we are fully prepared. I feel like we're locked and loaded. Like we are ready to go. Bring it on, seizures, but please don't. Um, so Culture will be trained very much like Crypto if he sees a physical seizure happening, because Teddy has only ever had the kind that you drop and the clonic-tonic, the grand mal seizures. And we thought in our contract, we had said no to the scent training because we can't keep that up. He doesn't seize enough. We're not going to smell like seizures. He can't keep up scent training. Well, we got here and Emily says, no, he was in fact trained to scent seizures. And his scent memory will last for around 7 years. And like I said, with KCMB1, it's not if he has more seizures, it's when, and it's not going to be 7 years away. So we have that, I don't know, extra cushion that he might smell a seizure before it ever happens and alert us, and not just when it's going on. What else? What am I supposed to talk about? What am I supposed to talk about?
Behavior disruption.
Oh, yeah, the behavior disruption. I did thank people. I did that first, so I didn't forget. Behavior disruption. Teddy is autistic, and we just spent 6 months down in Atlanta. We're from Indiana. We just spent 6 months in Atlanta going to Marcus Autism Center. They have a severe behavior program for autistic kiddos, and it's outpatient. So 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, he was in clinic and learning how to not hurt people when he gets upset. And so Culture was going to be a big part of that. This before we went to Marcus. Marcus was kind of like later into the plan. So Culture was going to be a huge part of that. And we felt like, oh, we've done so much hard work at Marcus. He's coming out so much better than we were going in. We probably won't need much behavior disruption. Let me tell you, this dog is awesome. I was having some behaviors. I wanted to practice seizure alert. And I said, okay, kid number 2, I need you to fall on the floor, and then Culture will see you. He'll come to you, and you're going to command bark. And when he does that, you're going to go to the fridge, and you're going to get the fresh pet, and you're going to say, yes, good boy. And you're going to give him the fresh pet. And kid number 2 was like, I'm not doing that. So I said, okay. Kid number 3, I need you to fall on the floor, right? And kid number 3 was like, I don't want to do that. So then I got mad. I was like, we have to help Teddy. And I start screaming, doing the mom thing. And Culture comes up right in front of me, and he's like, woof, woof. And he was pretty persistent. And I was like, okay, nice, good boy, yes. And you need to help your brother, blah, blah, blah. And finally, Dave goes, he's disrupting your behavior. Like, do you see what he's doing? No, I didn't. But now I do. So this guy is going to be a tremendous asset to our growing team of people helping Teddy. But most importantly, and then I'll be quiet, this is his best friend. He has one friend, and he had that friend back when he went to preschool and actually made friends. He's kept her all of this time, Miss Mary. But the first thing he wants to do when he gets home is take his dog to see Miss Mary. So I'm forever grateful that you guys gave my son his best friend.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Rivers and Calooney.
Hey, River says hey. Hey, I'm David Tigret. This is Victoria, and this is Rivers. Rivers is 6 years old. We're from just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. Victoria actually heard about Paws several years ago through a podcast. And in that time, Rivers, quick backstory about Rivers. She was born in 2018, was kind of like our other children, her older siblings at that point. And then when she was about 1 year old, she just wouldn't wake up from a nap one day. And so we rushed her to the ER. They said she had a febrile seizure, kind of a thing some kids go through. But then the same thing happened a few weeks later, and then 2 weeks later, and then 1 week later, and then it became daily seizures. And at that point, we got some scans and tests done, and Rivers has several brain abnormalities that cause her to have drug-resistant epilepsy. So she has multiple seizures a day. Still, she's been on many different seizure medications and treatments, 13 medications now, but she still has seizures daily. So we're very excited to have Miss Clooney in our life now, have this amazing tool and friend and family member for Rivers. One of the coolest things that happened this week and a half through class is within the first 5 minutes of meeting Miss Clooney, she jumped up next to Rivers and got really kind of like agitated, sort of, and was sniffing and like started kind of making some vocalizations. And then a few minutes later, Rivers had a seizure. So just within the first few moments of meeting Rivers, she was already pre-alerting seizures. And she's been able to do that several times since then. And she's been alerting to her seizures that she's been having. So we're just really excited just for the peace of mind that Clooney will give us as we bring her home and welcome her into our family. And we just wanted to say a quick thank you to all of you who helped bring this dog to us, especially Claire and Adelisa and Ron and Stacy and Zoe, her amazing trainer, and all our community back home that may be watching. We're just so appreciative of each and every one of you, and we're excited.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the new service dog team of Leon and Nutmeg.
Well, hello. My name is Linda, and this is my husband, Sean, our little man, Leon, and Bethany, who runs the household. When we first applied for the service dogs for Paws, we were living in northern Texas, but now we're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we're still excited for the opportunity. When I first heard about Four Paws is just really a Google search on what can I do for my son, because he was having seizures in his sleep, and me and my husband didn't know it until about 1.5 years in. He was sleeping in his own bed, being the big boy, and one day he was on the potty. We were well into potty training, and he had my phone because we were working on the poo part, and all of a sudden from my office I heard something drop, and for me, great, he threw my phone. It's probably broke, it's in the cat box, and I went in there and he was having a full clonic-tonic seizure. I have epilepsy, but I had never been on that end of it. It was terrifying. It lasted about 5 minutes. He had a bloody nose. And I kept asking myself why I didn't go in sooner. But luckily, I was the first person in my family to have seizures. The neurologists, the doctors were like, it's going to be completely fine. It's probably not genetic, but it's a toss-up. So we took the risk. We knew this could happen, though you never think it's going to happen to you. And we honestly, we've been lucky. He's been seizure free for 2 years, and it's been amazing. He is stuck sleeping in our bed because, of course, Dad said, nope, he's in our bed. Something happens, I'm waking up, and I swear for about a year he didn't sleep at all. But we made it to this point. But I went about a year and a half without seizures, and of course the medication is failing like it always does, because you got to get a higher and higher dose. So Nutmeg isn't going to be hopefully alerting too much on Leon, unless his medicine starts failing him too, but we're hoping not. But Nutmeg's already alerted on me having seizure activity twice, and it's been amazing. I work from home, and I know I shouldn't, but my husband does not. And I watch the children at home. And this gives me an opportunity to Nutmeg alerting, hey, you're fixing to have a seizure. So I can sit down, be safe, call my husband. We have security cameras in the house. He can check on me, call help if needed. So Nutmeg's an asset to our entire family, really is. And like said before, 4 Paws is the only service animals we could find that would assist for a young child. And I don't know what we would do without her. I really do want to thank the entire team that assisted with Nutmeg being the wonderful dog she is. I'm sure there's more than that's on this list, but I have Izzy, Emma, Alexa, Kyle, Elizabeth, Rick. I know Lisa helped out. She's not here today, but Nutmeg got to visit with her a little bit Friday, and I know for a fact Lisa loves this dog and wants a good home for it, and we're going to give her that. The Halpern family and River Valley Credit Union, y'all all helped to make Nutmeg come into our lives. But I do also want to thank Chive Charities, because the payment that our family had to bring to get Nutmeg would not have been possible with Chive Charities. And luckily, as a husband who's a veteran, we were able to get that. So at the end, I just want to say, keep calm and chive on.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Finton and Goblin.
Thank you. My son Finton is walking around outside because he has autism, and a room like this is super overwhelming for him. In fact, we can't go out in public. He's also an eloper, so he has never, until training class, been able to go into a mall, go shopping, without being strapped into an adaptive stroller. But during training, with Goblin's help, Finton was able to shop. So it's little things like that that people take for granted that we're able to accomplish now because of what 4 Paws has offered us. When we started researching service dogs a little over 3 years ago, I came across so many that said, he needs to be 7, he needs to be 10, he needs to be able to control his own dog. Or worse, you have to get rid of all the pets in your house before you can have a service dog. And none of those were real for us. So 4 Paws was the perfect choice for us because they have a specialty in 3-unit teams, and because they understand that dog people deserve service dogs too. I definitely want to thank all of our friends and family who helped us to get all the money together to do this. We have some very, very special people in our life who wanted to watch Fenton succeed. The trainers, the fosters, the volunteer trainers, Emily's his advanced trainer, everybody who put their heart and soul into Goblin. He is a phenomenal dog. Anybody in class can tell you he is a phenomenal dog, and he has completely mellowed out the kid at home. We're staying in an Airbnb, which ordinarily I wouldn't be able to sleep the whole time because I would worry about him escaping. This dog is up tracking him every time he moves, calms him down, cuddles with him, lays down. So just in 2 weeks of training, it's completely altered our lives. So we are grateful for that. Special thanks to Megan and Riley, who took care of him and loved him and took pictures of him. So I am fortunate enough to be able to see the baby pictures of my big boy Goblin. Emily, you trained a phenomenal dog. I appreciate everything you've done.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of James and Rufus.
Hi, everyone. We're the Linos. This is my husband, Jay. I'm Heather. This is Tyler and James, and we have our son, Jack, who just wanted to sit down, which was completely fine. We just happened, well, first of all, we're from Massachusetts. We're far from home. We get to go on a plane tomorrow to go home, which is a little nerve-wracking, but Rufus will do great. He's also known as Silas around here for anybody else who's been helping out. James wanted to name him Rufus, so we went with that. We have been, I honestly, just like everybody else kind of has said, a Google search. You know, James has epilepsy. So when you have a child with refractory epilepsy, you run out of options. You're like, what else can we do besides medications? We can't rely on medications. I have to sleep. My husband has to sleep. We have to figure something out. So we came across Paws, and for the same reasons everybody else says, it's hard to find a service animal in a foundation that will allow them to be with children. So that was one huge plus for us. And we were willing to make the commitment, flying out here, for 14 days, putting our life on hold, which isn't exactly the easiest thing. James has a rare syndrome called Ring 14 syndrome. Only like 250 people in the world that we know of have this syndrome, which is refractory epilepsy and an intellectual disability. So we're hoping that this dog, well, not hoping, we know that Rufus will be James's new best friend. The bond that they have created already since we've been here has just been absolutely phenomenal. Rufus is a very excited boy who loves to play fetch. And James loves throwing balls and playing sports and baseball. So it's a perfect pair, just that alone. But just to see Rufus really just taking James and wanting to be with him out of everybody has been just so great to see. His brothers weren't here in the beginning of our journey, and they just came this week. And so we were a little nervous about what was going to happen. But he still favored James over the other two, which is hard for them, but they understand. It's hard for me because he's just an amazing dog. And we just really want to say thank you to everybody. His foster family is not able to be here. They're on vacation. So thank you to David and Dory for all of your love on Silas and Rufus. We want to say thank you to Macy, who was his other foster for a couple months at the University of Kentucky, who kind of tried to help him with his barking habits, which they're getting better. And we want to thank Kim, who's here, who would come and take him on the weekends and socialize with him. And we want to say thank you to Sophie, who is his lead trainer, who has done amazing things and really helped us out so much while we've been here, answering all of our questions over and over and over again, being super patient with us. Yeah, and I think that's it. Just thank you to everybody. And thank you for everybody at home who helped us get here. I think we raised our funds in I think like 3 days. So it was pretty amazing. Everybody is Team James, so it's awesome. So thank you to everybody.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Cece and Maisie.
She's very excited. My goodness. Well, hello, I'm Holly from Cincinnati, and this is my daughter Cece. And Cece and I adopted each other 9.5 years ago. And then this year, we adopted Maisie. And I want to tell you that Maisie is opening doors for Cece literally and and figuratively, because Cece has always been a little bit quiet, a little bit shy. Even she would say, when I meet somebody, I might not have anything to say, but now she's had a lot to say. This is virtually the first time in 2 weeks that I've had anything to say, because she's been talking and asking questions and approaching the trainers and asking for help. And so this is really amazing, and it's all down to Maisie. And of course, Maisie's abilities are all down to Paws. So we really want to thank the trainers. All of them were around at some time to give us help and advice. It wasn't just 1 or 2 people. So we're very impressed with that part of the program, especially Lexi. Maisie listens to Lexi before Lexi even says a word. So we're really very impressed. And Emily did a great job running the class. She must be exhausted to talk to us for 2 whole weeks. We want to thank the Fosters, Erica. We haven't met Erica yet, we don't think. Maybe, and Brenda, whom we did meet earlier in the week. And they must have done amazing things, because Maisie knows how to get up on a couch, but she also knows how to get down from a couch. So they really had our number. We want to thank all the friends and family who donated when we started our fundraising. And also Channel 19 in Cincinnati. I don't know if they'll ever see a video of this, but they did a little feature on CC one night. I guess it was a slow news week or something. And then we received donations from people we've never met. So that was really sweet. And we reached out to thank some of them, and they were so anonymous, or so intent on being anonymous, that we couldn't actually find them. So we hope that they hear from us, and we hope that they will continue to support Paws. And we also want to thank the Heritage Girls, because that is a really cool thing that she did for a project. We really like her compassion and generosity towards the dogs and the people that she hadn't yet met before today, I think. Am I right about that? Yes. So thank you so much for that. And we're going to get off the stage now. This poor doggie, she's kind of had enough today.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Matthew and Stevie. I should have known.
You know what you're doing. Well, hi, everybody. We're the Hamp family. Oh, no, we're saving the best for last. This is Matthew. Matthew, you're autistic, right?
Yes,
Yep.
I am.
What we're looking for with Stevie is someone to help open Matt's world. We've heard a lot of stories from a lot of great families here in the world of autism. It's 1 in 20 right now for kids in schools, which is a really high number if you think about it. So to have a concentration of this many families in a room, it's for us. This is, and this hits the heart. So let's see here. We're gonna go off the notes. So those of you who haven't met Stevie yet, formerly known as Estelle, she is now to be referred to as Stevie, the super service dog Estelle Hamp. We're working on a shorter name. What has she meant to us just in 10 days? I met her the second day where she came back to our rental house, and I had a friend on the couch with me for the next 2 hours. So she's in. We're good. She is endearing. She pays special attention to everybody. She has had an opportunity to experience what Matt needs the most help with, and those are some behavioral issues or meltdowns when things just aren't going right. You know, the world isn't a fun place sometimes, so a little extra help to keep things straight is always appreciated. Didn't mention we are from West Bloomfield, suburb of Detroit, up in Michigan. Let's see here. How did we hear about Paws? My wife does research, lots and lots of research. So the internet provided, and then we found some other people in our community who actually had gotten dogs from Paws in the past. So that was good to hear, and the experience has been amazing. So the things that we're looking for Stevie to work with the partner and do is just flatten these emotional peaks and valleys that we go through. Just give Matt an outlook, a healthy outlook. Someone, let's just say it, part of the family, it counts. But something to lean on in tough moments. Give Matt the confidence and interest to try new things. We went out to lunch today, and Matt actually ordered off the menu and ate. Hasn't happened in years. So, so it's already working. He's not interested in dinners, going out to movies. What do we like going to though?
Monster Jam.
And that's why we're here today, so we can start doing fun things like that. So this has given him an honest opportunity to really start being more himself. At 14, things have been rough. Puberty came early. The schools didn't really understand things. We've had a rough road. So things are looking up right now. So what goals do we have? Matching outfits. As you can see, that's a starting. We do have some beautiful pink nails over here. Mom has picked that color out. So we're making it all happen here. Next time, maybe a cape. The whole family will do it. I prefer the flash. Let's see here. So that's a teamwork. That gives the family the confidence to go out and just, go to new places. That's what Stevie's here for. This is our unit now. This is the middle of the family here. So there are 6, where there was once 5. I do want to thank the foster families who have been such a great part of the dog's life, the trainers as well. Emily, you found your calling in life. This is amazing. Good job. I do want to give a special thanks to all the staff that helped us along this week. So Bethany, Zoe, Lexi, Sophie, Caitlin, Emily again. To our friends that are out there on the internet watching us, hi. But I do want to give a special thank you to the Michael family, not just my fraternity brothers, but their extended families, the Groeneveld family. A lot of people pitched in. So it went a little longer than it needed to. Obviously, you wish you'd had this years ago, but we're here and we're really excited about this. So again, all of our friends and families at home, thank you. We love you for the support. And what we'll wrap up in is something that, in honor of our friend Lowell, Matt, you want to read this right here? Ready?
You got this.
This is Monster Jam 4 Paws Edition.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the brand new service dog team of William and Hugo.
Thank you. Well, Matt, there's no way we're going to top that. So my name is Casey. Actually, William. Casey's my middle name. This is my son, William. We're from Eugene, Oregon. I know a lot of individuals in Ohio this year learned where Eugene was, home of the Mighty Ducks. So we're very proud to be here, and I'm proud to have our first visit to Ohio. Our journey with Will started. He was born 8/1/18, which is a great date for a dad to remember. 6 months later, everything was normal. He was the light of our life, our first child. He started having what we call infantile spasms. And my wife, who is incredible, and who actually I was supposed to say hi to at the beginning. I love you, sweetie. And Theo and Ben. She caught the infantile spasms, and we got him in the hospital right away. They did an MRI, and they found out that William has a brain malformation called lissencephaly. All of our brains have a lot of folds that allow us to increase our surface area, learning more. Will's brain is mostly flat. So he, at the time, had to go on a pretty intense course And he's watching Monster Jam right now as well, Matt. And if he needs to move on, Lily, you can take him. After a really intense course of steroids, they subsided, and life was really good for a few years. And then the seizures started, and they started pretty intensely. Will has every kind of seizure, drops, clonic tonics, the grand mals, the absence, you name it, he can have it. He can have zero, which actually most of this week he didn't have any seizures until last night, which was a real blessing. He can have 5, 10 to a couple hundred a day. And really the toughest part about lissencephaly, most kids with lissencephaly, actually about 80% of them don't make it to 10. So Will is already exceeding most any of the expectations his doctors had for him. They didn't know if he'd have an imagination. They didn't know if he'd be able to walk, talk, multiple surgeries and everything later. Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which he was diagnosed with, is medical resistant epilepsy. And so he'll pretty much be on drugs the rest of his life while we continue to fight the ups and downs and balances of his epilepsy. Hugo is going to be an absolute hero for our family. For the last really 4 years, my wife and I have been 24/7 watching for seizures and trying to catch them. And the families know in this room what that does to you on a emotional and stressful level. And so last night we had a seizure. Hugo was very excited, and he started barking for us, and we gave him treats, and he let us know what was happening. So we really look forward to Will gaining a level of independence that he would never be able to have without Hugo. For the first time, maybe my wife or Lily or my eyes don't have to be on Will for every second. Hugo can be with him, and he can let us know when he's having a seizure. But also when his days are really tough, Hugo just puts a smile on his face. We are incredibly touched by all the kindness and love that's been given to us and expressed by everyone in this room, people that we've never met, let alone Duck fans. Specifically Tess. I don't know where you are, Tess. You're over there. So Tess, the love and care that you poured into Hugo for the last year and a half is why he's the dog he is, and why he's doing what he's doing for Will now. So Tess, you could very well help save Will's life. You're going to make it a better one at the minimum. As well as Angela and Daryl Peterson for helping take care of Hugo and turn him into who he is. We are just in your debt forever. His trainer, Megan, she helped get the stubborn Newfie settled down a little bit in him. We learned he likes treats, so really just everyone here, you've turned us into believers, into supporters, and definitely donors down the road. So also a big thank you to you, Emily. I realize you're really training us. The dogs already know what to do, so the last 2 weeks you've been training us, and you've done an incredible job. So if I've forgotten anyone, just know that we really appreciate you and all you've done, and you'll be in our hearts forever. So thank you. I did say one thing. So I need to thank my father, who's watching down from above. 2 years ago, he passed of cancer, but his last gift to Will was Hugo. And so that's where the funding for everything from. And so thank you, Big Dad.
Last and certainly not least, I would like to introduce the brand new service dog team of Zara and Bud. Are you talking?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Shabreen, and I'm accompanied by my daughter Zara and my husband Koen, and I'm already crying. Oh my gosh. We're here with you all today from Houston by way of Belgium. We have done 6 cities and 5 countries, all through Zara's life, all to bring us to this very moment today. Zara has epilepsy. Epilepsy sucks, doesn't it? It absolutely sucks. But we are here because Bud is going to help make Zara's life that much more incredible. This past last 2 weeks has been amazing. We have gotten an opportunity to see Zara have true companionship and friendship. We have gotten to feel like our family is complete. It's been the three of us in all the places we've been, and now Bud is joining our family and making us whole. And I am eternally grateful for all of the support and friendships that we've made along the journey. Emily, our fearless leader, great point, Casey. She has been training us, right? Oh my gosh. And all of the trainers, Zoe, for your coaching and your support and for making Bud the wonderful boy that he is. Trinity, who's visiting us all the way from Tennessee to be here to join us on this special day. Bud is a college graduate, thanks to Trinity. He's also got a great balance between being a distinguished gentleman, hence the bow tie, as well as knowing when to party it up, because our girl Zara likes to party and shop. I would also love to thank my mother-in-law, who's not here today, but was with us for the first week of our training, all the way from Belgium, to make sure that we had an opportunity to really learn how to support Bud in transitioning into our family. And also I'd like to thank my husband because he really made it possible for me, who did not grow up with dogs or didn't know anything about dogs, to be able to be successful and make sure that Zara has the best success that she can with Bud. So thank you. And thank you to everybody who I might have missed for making this possible for us. We are really excited to go home to Houston, Texas, and hopefully Bud will not miss the cooler weather too much. But thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us to celebrate the hard work and amazing achievements of these 12 new teams. We wish them well and can't wait to see what beautiful adventures the future holds for them. Congratulations, Scarlet Class of 2025. You did it.